There we go. Mm, give me something to think about. Yes.
Yo,
Hey,
hey, what's going on?
doing good.
That's good.
Yo, I've been listening to this album at work too.
Oh, really?
Yep. After I after I'm done working,
Oh,
I've
okay.
been listening to this album at work.
Oh, okay.
Dang. How's your day going?
My day is going okay. How about yours?
It was good.
That's good.
Yep. Yes, this album slaps.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cause it, it just got everything like from pop,
Mm-hmm.
uh, pop, funk, R&B, soul. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's gospel in it. and,
Yeah.
and even New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can definitely hear it in some of the songs.
Yeah. I could tell.
Like some songs have that New Jack Swing feel to it. Like
Yeah.
the first song, the title song,
Mm-hmm.
Spirit, Color, well, Color Kiss. That Color Kiss or no Temptation.
Right.
Don't Say You Love Me, which is playing now.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
Yeah, I've listened to this last night.
yep. It's a shame that she only got two albums.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
It's just a shame that she only got two albums.
Yeah, because I know she got the self-titled from
Oh
'88.
yeah, yeah. She's from Cuba. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's of Cuban descent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she does have like Spanish titles to her songs too, especially the her second album right here.
Yeah.
The last song is Spanish. Well, English, then Spanish.
Right.
Yeah, like she's very good at Spanish though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, I took Spanish class.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, when I was in high school.
Same. Yeah, I took Spanish too.
Yeah, I mean, I know just the basics of Spanish. Not like I'm not highly affluent. Well, I'm not highly affluent in Spanish. I just know the basics Spanish stuff.
Right. You know,
Yeah,
parts of
just
it.
basic ones.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you on that.
Yeah, because especially when you're trying to do those double R sounds, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't either.
You just gotta roll your tongue real good. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing about Spanish. Like Spanish to me is a, a lot more harder than French. Well, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to
True.
the vowels.
Right.
Hmm. But mm, Martica, like this album, I want to tell you who produced some of the songs.
Mm.
Well, songs one, three, and 10,
Uh-huh.
and it's by one of the greatest funk R&B soul singers of all time.
Oh wow.
Yep. Hmm.
Hmm.
I just wish
So,
she came out more.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
Martika. I just wish she came out more.
Yeah, I
'Cause some
know.
of the songs off of this album slaps hard. It's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. Um I was listening to it last night and I'm like I feel like, and I'm gonna tell you now, I feel like me and you on this I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to my reasoning on this for this particular album, but it, it for me it has its moments and it's like what the fuck, like to me that's just my honest opinion. And it's like I'm like uh I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get to it. When we started, like as we like going through the album, I'm gonna get to it though. But I
Yeah. There are some tracks that I like more than others on this album.
yeah I and I'll say this now, nothing beats Toy
Like they're
Soldier.
not bad. They're not bad. It's just
Right.
that I feel like some of the songs on this album stick a lot. Like some albums stand out a bit more than the
Right.
others.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to, and I'm gonna explain why I think that some songs stand out more than others. Not saying
Yeah.
that they're bad, because again, Martica, this is the first album I listened to,
Hmm.
and so after I'm done with this, with her second album, I might do her first album too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think her first album might be, well, once I listen to the whole album, I might say that it might be stronger than her second.
Hmm.
Yeah, once I finish the whole album, listen to the whole album, like then I'll review it. I'm gonna do that review separate. Well, do you want to join for that first album review or no?
You saw what?
Do you want to join in on that first album review, or do you want me to do it separately?
Um, Separately, only because I have to listen to it.
All right.
Yep, I would have to listen to
Yeah,
that.
it won't
That.
be. Yeah, it won't be that long, because the album is like her first album is like 10 song. Yeah, I think it's like 10 song. Yeah, it's 10 songs.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because the alternative version, that's just the Spanish version of the Spanish versions of songs. Toy Soldiers, I
Yeah.
Feel the Earth Move, More Than You Know,
Yeah.
Water, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, and What You Know It, those are singles off her first album.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like but I feel like as an artist, she doesn't get that much publicity. Like,
No, you
she's
don't.
very underrated. She's very another underrated artist. And
Yeah.
speaking of, yeah, speaking of her, Martica, she was also in the kids show called Kids Incorporated.
Kids Incorporated. Right. Yeah.
Right. That's where they had those children. They do music, like they
Yeah.
sing the music, while
Yeah.
also, like any other children's show, they have to teach them lessons too.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like the whole trend of children's shows. Like, some some kids shows do it better, while others are just on the nose. Like
Yeah.
one of the like one of the most famous examples of a moral done right is the episode 9/11 from Arthur.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Arthur in his prime, it knew how to tackle subjects, but not being preachy with it. Like, they're more subtle
Exactly.
with it.
Right.
Like, they were more subtle with it, co- as well as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Hmm.
That's another one. That show right there. Like, if you want to, like, if you want to see PBS Kids in its true, like, the true essence of PBS Kids, watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood,
Right.
or Arthur, or
Yeah.
Sesame Street. Well, in its prime,
I
not
agree.
like how it is now.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll take those shows over the Loud House any day.
Oh God. Yeah.
But you know the Loud House,
Yeah. I have an idea.
huh?
I have an idea.
Yeah. Well, that's a Nick show.
Well.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do like the art style of it.
Yeah, I could see that.
because it reminds you of those Sunday comics in the newspapers.
Yeah, I feel like those shows like Arthur, like Sesame Street, and like now it's just like, what the hell? What do they do? You know what I mean? Like, what do they
Yeah,
do
like they
to?
changed Arthur from like not just I mean not just animation style. I mean that's part of the animation community. Like that's just part of you know and they have to evolve. They can't like
Mhm.
finding cell animation is hard. Well, finding animation done in cells is hard because I think they got rid of that, or yeah, they got rid of that, and they switch to digital. They switch
Right.
to computers like Adobe Flash or Toon Boom,
Yep.
Blender. Like, not that it's bad because again, you can make very good stuff with Blender, Toon Boom, and Adobe Flash, but it takes skills to to create great shows, great cartoons. But what they done to Arthur is that they turned what was like a very mature show. Like the show is very mature,
Right.
while not it's mature, but also but stays fa- family friendly. And what I
Right.
mean by mature, I mean it doesn't uh, it doesn't insult the audience's intelligence.
True.
And they changed it from being like a mature show, like a mature but fairly friendly show into a PC mouthpiece.
Pretty much.
Like you seen that video where Arthur and Buster were talking about racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they talk about how racism is bad, and well, I mean, not lying, it is bad in society,
Right.
but the way they go about it is we know that already. And the fact that they're anthropomorphic animals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like how would they know about racism if they're animals? Like
It.
unless if you do it like an animal farm way, unless you do it in a style of Animal Farm,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. Like if you do it in the style of Animal Farm, because Animal Farm also is a satire on war and stuff. Well,
True.
politics, but they use animals as like metaphors, because animals are also used as metaphors for political right. Anything anything related to politics, like
Right.
the elephant is a representation of the Republican, and the donkey is a representation of the Democrats.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that kids TV shows aren't the same as they were back now,
Not even close.
because back in the day, no one like back in the day you could get away with a lot.
Yeah.
Like
True.
take Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
How many adult shows did it got away with?
Exactly. A bunch.
Or Animaniacs,
Yep.
Ren and Stimpy. Like, yeah, those shows were not afraid to be blunt about their adult jokes. Like the way I see both Tiny Toons and Animaniacs is that Tiny Toons Tiny Toons run. Well, no, Tiny Toons walk. So Animaniacs can run.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel like Tiny Toons, while it did have fair share of adult humor, it was more or less a kids show. It was more aimed at kids than, to me, Animaniacs. Because Animaniacs humor is more adult.
True.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Like
yeah.
the
Animaniacs, their humor is more adult.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the problem with television now compared to back then is that television back then was so relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like they would tackle on like issues that were happening like back then too. Now they don't they glorify most of the issues now, which that's turning away a lot of people, especially people who used to watch television like back in the day. Like when you compare, television back then to now, it's just all everything is just like glorified. Like it all becomes a product. Like you send a product out there, hope for the best and see if it sells. You know what I mean? Like everything is just like a product or like a marketing, type of thing. So it's like, you hope for the best. Hopefully people could relate or people could, draw attention to it. But it just takes away when you do that, it just takes away a lot of the morals of the show, honestly. You know what I mean? Like especially in like comedy. Comedy is just so stale and dry. Comedy is like I feel comedy is very hard to do, and it's not, especially now. It's just now they just use the laugh track versus like having a live audience. A live audience is more authentic, So
Yeah,
it's I. That's why I don't watch a lot of TV now as it is.
I feel like one of the main issues with when it comes to sitcom, like today's sitcom, trying to tackle a really dark, a really rough issue, is that they tackle it, but there's no nuance.
Right.
Like take the golden, like for example, take the Facts of Life,
Yeah.
which is a very good show, a very good show, very um a classic show
Yeah.
from Norman Lear
Yeah.
in one of the episodes where Natalie gets raped.
Yes.
Yes, which is one of the most famous famous episodes. They like what to me what made that episode work is that you don't see the rape
You don't know.
because again it's a show aimed at young children. Well, preteens and teenagers. I'll say that.
Yep.
Like you don't see the rape on screen, but there's implications. Like because you can tell Blair, Joe, and Tootie and Mrs. Garrett, they all come they all come back to school before Natalie did. So
Exactly.
Natalie was still at the party, but when Natalie came in, you saw her sweating and she was crying and her clothes looked like it was about to rip off,
Yeah. Yep.
implying like it's the implications, it's the context clues that
Yeah.
she got that she was about to get raped
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it makes it effective.
Yep. I agree.
It's the implications, the context clues, the nuance.
Yep.
Yes, because back in the day, you can't show rape on television. Well, back in the day, because they still had to be family friendly.
Yep.
Like like for example, Full House had an episode where one boy was a victim of child abuse.
Yep.
They never showed the child abuse,
No, they didn't.
but it was discussed though.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing with Fast of Life. The
Yep.
rape was never shown, but it was discussed.
Yeah.
Yes, and not to mention episodes like where Blair enters into a girl enters enters into a girl's house and all they had were bongs and drugs and pot and smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got expelled for that.
Yep.
and that was in the first season. Like I think that was in the first season
Yeah, that was the very first
because
season.
Tootie was very young back then.
Yeah,
She was like 11 or 12 years old.
right.
Yeah, so she and Nally were young. Like, well, Tootie was the youngest. Yeah, she was the
Yeah,
youngest in
yes,
the group,
yeah.
and Blair Blair did the right thing by not letting to get peer pressured into doing something that she would regret later doing.
And you want to know the irony in that episode? The
What?
irony is, it was an episode where Tootie. Okay, so uh, most of the girls they brought alcohol, into their room and shit,
I remember
and
that.
Tootie was the one who drank the alcohol, and that was just so. I thought it was you know what, that episode was more comical, but the way they tackled on that issue, like they did such a wonderful job too.
Yeah, because Tootie. I mean, I'm not saying what Tootie did was right,
Mhm.
but the other girls like Natalie, Joe, and Blair. Okay, one thing that really irks me is that why would Blair? Okay, Blair, Joe, and Natalie are kids too, right? We're kid.
Right.
We're kids
Yeah.
now. Yeah, now they're adults, but
Uh-huh.
they were kids, but back in the day.
Yep.
So I kind of find it ironic that they would make fun of Tootie because she's like she's also a kid herself.
Yeah, she's young.
I
Yeah.
kind of find it ironic because they're like, okay, I know Tootie's the youngest, so probably Natalie, Joe, and Blair are like 14 or 15 years old. Yeah, 14 and 15.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they're like in their earlier early teens, but
Right.
still, like teens are still kids too.
Yeah.
Teens are still kids,
Hmm.
but I I, I just find it ironic that they would make fun of her Tootie because she's like she's not mature enough
Right.
to handle to be a part of the in crowd. So I think the reason why she drunk that alcohol is because she wants to be seen as mature.
I agree. Yeah.
So in a way, again, I'm not saying what Tootie did was right, but
Right.
again, Blair, Joe, and Natalie are also at fault because they should never bring that alcohol into the dorm
Exactly.
because you remember in the very first season, Mrs. Garrett and the other wasn't I forgot his name. Oh, let me look it up because I know what I'm referring to,
Right.
and it's from the first season, the very first season of the show. Where is he at? Yeah, okay. John Lawler. Okay. Yes, Stephen Bradley. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Garrett and Stephen Bradley. They both expelled the other girls because they used because they were using drugs.
Hmm.
So so again, I yeah. So I find that really odd
Right.
that Mrs. Garrett never like I don't think she never punished them. I don't think she did.
Hmm.
Or I don't yeah. I don't think she punished them like I don't think she did. I mean, I know Joe, Blair, and Natalie said that they were responsible for it.
Right.
Yeah, so I think so well I think they did got punished.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did got punished because they said they were responsible for the wine and the beer. So
Right.
at least they took responsibility for their actions, including
Yeah.
Natalie. who said some best friend I am. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's one thing I miss in sitcoms. It's the nuance. And
Yeah.
when you're tackling tough issues, there has to be nuance.
Uh-huh.
And that's why shows like The Loud House, where everything has to be on the nose,
Right.
and or a- any show like The Loud House, Velma, all that show, like those shows, when they tackle issues, they're always on the nose. Like my issue with Velma is about that they try to be like it tries so hard to be revolutionary with
Mm-hmm.
with with this meta jokes and the fact that they would tackle like they would make fun of TV tropes or anything that they find comedic, but it never lands because again they're poking fun at the cliche while they're also
Right.
doing the cliche that they're making fun of.
Right. Exactly.
Like there's no nuance in the show. One of my main issues why Velma why Velma um pretty much went to shit is because there's no like one the execution is bad.
Right.
Two, there's no comedy. It's just like you know how Family Guy does their comedies,
Yeah.
does their humor. Like they'll always go for the shock value and be like, "Hey, look, we're offensive for the
Right.
sake of being offensive, so laugh at us."
Mm-hmm.
But where's the punchline?
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like a comedy has to have a punchline. Like you can't expect to have like shock value without a meaning to it, and
I
that's
agree.
and that's what's wrong with Velma. Like there's so much shock, but there's no meaning to it. Well, there's no meaning to the humor.
Right.
Pretty much the show in general. Like there's no meaning in the show in general, and
Yeah.
it's not, and and I would say this one, and I want to say this one time, Mindy, Mindy, as much shit as we give her, like she's not the one at fault either. Like she's not the one. She's not the only one at fault. Like
Right.
it's also HBO Max and
Yeah.
Charlie Grandy because Mindy was just a voice actor and the executive p- producer,
Right.
but HBO Max and Warner Brothers were and just pretty. HBO Max is just responsible for the travesty that is Velma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I wouldn't mind a darker approach to the Scooby Doo franchise. I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't mind it, but it's the execution that matters.
Right.
Yeah, but I will say this: the animation is very good, though. Well, during the hallucination scenes, they're very good, so I'll give them that. Yeah. I mean that's what's wrong with TV in general. Well, today's shows in general is that they try to be so hard to be revolutionary and
Yeah.
try to do new things, but again, like we want to like if you want to be original, like just be original. Like don't come up with ideas that were done to death already,
Exactly.
unless you're doing a unless you're doing a new spin on it, that'll be fine.
Right.
But just be original, but also treat your audience with respect.
I agree 100.
Like literally, like treat your audience with respect.
Yes.
Yes, and don't treat them like they're idiots.
Exactly. I
Like
agree.
that's the main issue with Velma, Simpsons now like modern Simpsons, Family Guy is that they try so hard to be funny, but there's nothing funny about it.
Exactly.
Like
I
there's no
agree.
humor.
No,
There's no humor.
it's just
It's just stale.
yeah, it is very
That's why South Park, like to me, South Park is one of the few adult sitcoms I can still watch because it's still relevant.
right.
Like the humor, the show is still funny to this day.
Yeah.
That show is still funny to this day. I never get tired of watching South Park because they don't because they still like South Park has his moments like South Park has his duds.
Hmm.
Like it, it's not a perfect show,
Yeah.
but compared to Simpsons and Family Guy, the humor the humor still hits,
Right.
and and that's why I love South. That's why I love it. The
Yeah.
humor still hits.
Right.
All right, so let's get to the Martica Kitchen review, and we're gonna start now. So good night. I mean, good evening, YouTube. This is Rich Bell in the building, and I got my homeboy Mike with me.
Yo.
And today we're going to review a very underrated album by a very by an underrated teen, underrated former teen pop star and child actor Martika, and this is her second album called Martika'S Kitchen, which came out in August August 26th, 1991, and it was and the genre for Martika'S Kitchen is pop. The and it was released on Columbia Records. The album was reissued in deluxe 2 CD edition in 2018 as Martika'S Kitchen reheated edition with 12 bonus tracks of rare mixes and single edits. So compared to her first album, Martika'S Kitchen incorporates elements of jazz, jazz, funk, R&B, and traditional Cuban music. The producers include Prince.
Wow.
Yep, Prince, the one and only Prince.
Wow.
Yep, and that's why I said. Yep, that's why I said one of the greatest funk R&B soul singers of all time.
That threw me off.
He produced well. He produced 4 songs. Yeah, he produced 4 songs.
Hmm.
Yeah, Prince, Christopher Max, uh, Clevels, and Cole, Bob Rosa, Martica, Frankie Blue, and Les Pierce. Les Pierce and Joe Gatto. So yeah, yep, Prince, the one and only Prince.
Wow.
And to know, and for those of you who doesn't know who Martica is, Martica is a pop star. She was also a former child actor who starred in the kids show called Kids 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 Incorporated. Yep. So Marta Marrero, born in May 18th, 1969 in White retired California in the USA. Here we go. Okay, start over. Okay, Martica Marrero, better known as Martica, is a Cuban American pop singer. As a child, she dabbled in acting, making her film debut as one of the dancing orphans in the film version of Annie. As
Wow.
a teen, she would star as Gloria on the syndicated children's variety show Kids Incorporated. After Outgrowing her role, Martika would turn her focus towards her first love, music. Hooking up with producer Michael J., Martika landed a deal with Columbia Records. Martika's self-titled debut album was released in the fall of 1988, but it wasn't until 1989 that she broke through in a big way. By January, her debut single, More Than You Know, was a US top 20 smash. Her second single, a haunting ballad about addiction entitled Toy Soldiers, yep, step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers. Yep, that song. Spent 2 weeks at number one in the US during the summer of 1989. Up next was a dance rock version of the Carole King classic I Feel the Earth Move, which was eventually scored Martika her third top 40 US hit. This song, as well as her previous singles, also became huge hits all over the world by charting in the UK, Australia, Japan, and Spain, just to name a few. A fourth single was released in Europe and Australia entitled Water. After the success of her debut, her label compiled a four-song EP of Spanish-language versions of three of her hits. Water was included as well, but it's in bilingual original state. It was during this time that Martica would perform throughout many Spanish-speaking countries, and it was heavily promoted to the U.S. Latino market.
Wow.
During dur- during the fall of 1990, Martica returned briefly to acting, playing Dalia Mendez on the CBS drama Wise Guy, playing a
Wow.
sultry nightclub singer and girlfriend to the then new lead Stephen Stephen Barr. Martica turned heads with her sexy outfits and Latin jazz standards sprinkled throughout the show. Much like her character's untimely death, the show was also canceled after failing to catch on with viewers. Luckily for Martica, all four of her episodes aired. Martica followed up her debut, which eventually went gold in the U.S. with her second album, Martika'S Kitchen, led by the first single, "Love Thou Be Done," a prayer that Martica had written, which would later be turned into a song by Prince. Yep, that Prince.
Wow.
Martica would find herself once again on the charts. The song peaked at number 10 in the US, and it was a number one hit in Australia. Unfortunately, a sophomore slump of sorts took its toll on what could have been a huge hit album. The second single, a funky Prince penned and produced tune, failed to set the charts on fire and stalled at number 98 in the US. However, it did fare better in Europe, making it all the way to number one in Spain. A third single, the C plus C Music Factory produced "Colored Kisses," failed to chart in the U.S., but it was a modest hit internationally. Two more singles would see the light of day in Europe. A club only release of yet another Prince produced track, "Spirit," made the rounds as did uh, it made the rounds as did a fourth single, "Safe in the Arms of Love." It was during 1992 that Martica would walk away from her music career after after headlining stint at the Expo Sevilla in Sevilla, Spain. Martica would Martica walked off the stage and began a long hiatus from music. Rumors of her whereabouts would range from the weird to plain ridiculous.
Wow.
So, yeah, during this time, Martica wrote songs for several artists: Maria Nyler, Tevin Campbell, and etc., as well as lending her voice to several projects: C plus C Music Factories, Musica as Mi Vida, and the Conga Club's The Happy Song, to name a few. But it was not until 1999 that Martica would come out of musical obscurity by launching a website, the new defunct Martica.net, and talk of a new album brought many fans out of the woodwork, so to say. At this time, several demos leaked on the internet, and she even went as far as to release an internet-only single, "The Journey,"
Wow.
available exclusively on mp3.com. This brief return of sort of came, went, and it wasn't until the beginning of this decade that Martica would again return. This time as one half of the musical duo Opera, along with her musical partner and husband Michael Mazzart. The duo released their internet-only debut, "Violence." Since they have released a self-titled follow-up, "Open for Pat Benatar." In 2010, Martica, under the name Vita Edit, starred in the internet series JADED along with her hubby Michael Michael Damon. The show is currently on hiatus. Martika is currently working on her first solo album in 20 years. It will see her return to dance pop roots. Expect a fall 2011 release. Also of note, rapper Eminem sampled Martika's "Toy Soldiers" in his 2004 hit "Like Toy Soldiers,"
Hmm.
thus resparking some interest in this often ignored pop star. To boot, in 2007, British showgaze alternative rock band My Vitriol covered the song for their A Pyrrhic Victory EP. So that's what you need to know about Martika. So yeah, very underrated pop singer
I agree.
that got obscured.
Yes,
Yeah, and that's why I wish she came out with more material, because again, she's one of those, like, those singers that you knew when you were a child, but as time goes by, as you start to forget about her, which is sad.
yep, true.
Like same thing with Debbie Gibson or Tiffany. Like you know them from the '80s,
Yeah,
but as time go excuse me, but as time goes by, they start to become more obscured,
yep,
and it's sad because Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, and Martika, like they're very talented singers,
hey,
and I know Debbie Gibson is still doing her thing. Like she's still doing her thing. Like at 53 years old, she's still doing her thing.
wow, yeah,
But I wish pop singers like Martika will also give. Well, I just wish they should give her the same limelight.
I agree.
Yeah, because she's also underrated. She's also very obscured as well.
Hmm.
Like give her flowers too while she's still living.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is the album cover for the second album.
Well,
Like that's the album cover for that's the album cover for her second album. Pretty dope album cover. Like it's very like it like you know me. I love art. I love art, and I just love how abstract it is. Like it's very abstract.
I agree 110%. It is
Yeah,
very
it's abstract. It's colorful. It kind of has that surreal look to it.
right.
And there's Martika in the photo right here. That's
Mm,
her right there.
yeah.
So this review will not be too long because it only got 12 songs. This is the reheated edition right here. But we're not but we're not going to include that. We're just gonna talk about this right here. This is what we're talking about, not the reheated, not the reheated edition, and not the and not the singles or the other tracks, but the main tracks right here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first track, number one, is Martika'S Kitchen, and this was written by one of the greatest, one of the best vocally, one of the best folk, not folk, funk, R&B, soul singers of all time, mother freaking Prince.
Mm.
Love this song right here. I love the intro to this song. I I just love everything about this song. It's funky, it's catchy. It, it got that new Jack Swing vibe to it, which I love because I love me some new Jack Swing,
Mm-hmm.
and I just love the lyrics too. Like the lyrics are fire. Like, come on, get some in Martika'S kitchen, baby. You bring me noise, and I bring you smiles. So true. You can make all my wishes so real. You can make all my dreams. And if you're good, baby, I'll even let you break the dishes. Come on, get some, get some, get some. In Martika'S kitchen, baby. The table is set, the oven is hot. Baby, when we get started, we won't ever stop. Like, right there. That's how you do a great song. A great song by one only Prince. And
Mm-hmm.
you can tell it's a Prince song because of the indie windows. Like
Right.
what this song talks about, in my own words, especially is essentially it's about passionate love, about sex. In my own words, it's all about sex, passionate, loving, just affection. And they're using, and to me, they're using she's using the kitchen as like, a place for loving, a place for fucking, and a place for sex. Just passionate love. And you can tell because, when you think of Prince, you think of love, sex, sensual ballads, just very explicit dialogue, but
Mm-hmm.
also making it classy, making it fun to listen to. And overall, yeah. So pretty much it's a to me it's a love song, a sex song, and overall the whole song is a playful and flirtatious song that captures the excitement, that captures the excitement and passion of a romantic encounter in the kitchen. So essentially sex.
Right.
So yeah, if you and if you also and have you and have you ever heard another Prince related song called Sugar Walls?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
by Sheena Easton.
Tina Easton. Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah, you know what that song refers to, right? When she's talking about sugar walls.
Yep. Sugar Wars. Yeah.
Yep, her V card.
Yep.
Yep, her V card, and also Little Red Corvette. That also
Yep.
talks about V card because it's the metaphors. That's what that's what it's about. Because when I was little, when I heard Prince, when I heard Prince as a child, I didn't knew what the innuendos meant
Right.
because I thought Little Red Corvette. I thought he was talking about like some car.
Right.
But but as I got older, it wasn't about a car. It it was about a, a woman's V card,
Mm-hmm.
her vagina, but her vagina, but essentially, because you can tell by the metaphor, like the keys. I'm gonna insert the keys into the ignition. Like when you think of keys, penis. When you think of
Mm-hmm.
the Corvette, the V card.
Yep.
So yeah, so Prince used a lot of metaphors in his songs,
He really did.
and 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 Martika and Martika'S Kitchen, the song is no exception. Like when you think of the kitchen, but like when you think of the kitchen, what is the first thing you know? What's the first thing in your mind that comes to you? But when you think of the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
metaphorically,
Um, the kitchen. You know what? Okay, so this is one of the songs that honestly I had mixed feelings because I thought it was like a Prince-esque type song, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I thought. Like, but when I listened to it, I'm like, eh. I mean, it was good, but it just didn't stand out. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? But I thought it was okay. Like I thought, like it was just like because okay, and maybe because I may be a little biased, but when I think of Montica, I think of Toy Soldiers. That's her best song. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I look, and I'm listening to it, so I'm like, something's just kind of off about it. But it's like once you said Prince produced it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
It
because
does, yeah,
the metaphors.
yeah. The metaphors it had that Prince undertone to it. I was like, okay, so you know, you and I'm glad you explained like what the song is and stuff, but because I, me personally, I'm just like it was one of those meh. It was okay, but it just didn't really stand out for me. Not like that though. But I would have to go back to there's several songs on this album. I will tell you now, the first three or four songs it's gonna be meh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I feel
because
you because this album was not promoted. What was not promoted enough.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, compared to her
No.
first album. 'Cause I think
Right.
her first album might be stronger.
Right.
Yeah, her first album might be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are some songs I like off this album. Like
Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you um one of my favorite songs off this album. There might be like one, two, like five songs I like off this album
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that to me stand out. Well, to me stand out.
Right.
Um, so yeah, with Martika'S Kitchen, I love this song because of the metaphors. I
Mm-hmm.
love how funky it is. I like the New Jack Swing vibe, and again, Prince produced it, which tells you everything. And for me, when I think of the kitchen, I think of it as like the bedroom,
Right.
essentially. Like because the whole song is about passionate love and sex. So
Mm-hmm.
think of the kitchen as a bedroom, and you just want to make good love. Like the table is set, the oven is hot. So essentially, we're gonna make some good living tonight.
Right.
Yep. But it's still subtle. Like it's obvious though. It's obvious of what the metaphors are.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's a great song, and and it's a great single off the album. Um, so number track two is Spirit, which the producers are Frankie Blue, Martika, Prince, Levy, Levy, and Levy Caesar Jr. Spirit um is a cool song. It's a solid song. That one also had a New Jack Swing vibe to it as well.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, yeah, so pretty much one tracks one, two, um, tracks one, two, and I think yeah, 9 and 10. They have that New Jack Swing vibe to it. Yeah, that New Jack Swing vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So Spirit is a cool song. Like it's not really a standout, but I, I like the song for what it is. Like it's a cool song. Nothing really groundbreaking to say about it.
Right.
It's a take or leave it song.
Right.
But like but I adore the New Jack Swing vibe to it.
Yeah, the New Jack Swing was good. It just like you said, it didn't. This was a second song to me that didn't really stand out, and I'm just listening to it. I'm like, what? Like this? It was like one of those. I was like, take it or leave it. I said, you know, she put effort into.
But yeah,
Everybody puts their
she
effort
did her
into it.
thing.
Yeah, she
She did
did.
her thing, and that's one thing about Martika. Like her voice is very good.
Oh yeah, her voice, no doubt, her voice is
Her
very
voice is
good.
very good.
Yeah, yeah, very good, very good. You
Yeah.
know,
So the lyrics go like this: When the sands of time are running out, when the voices of when the voice of oppression screams and shouts, when all seems lost, you got to try to then let your spirit die. An angel came to greet me. It happened in a dream. He spoke of my reality not being what it seems. Within us lives a new world. This world, he calmly said, will only be when evil and all its sorrows are truly dead. Whoa. When the sands of time are running out, spirit. When the voice of oppression screams and shouts, spirit. When all seems lost, you got to try, spirit, to never let your spirit die. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's not like the song's pretty catchy though.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty catchy, especially the chorus. That's where it gets catchy.
Yeah,
Like it's a very catchy song.
mm-hmm.
Very catchy, a pretty good song though. Yeah. Um, track three is "Love That Will Be Done," and this is written by Martika and Prince, and this is the her very first single off the album, and this is more of a adult contemporary sound, more adult contemporary compared to her other songs, and
Right.
it's like a essentially a pop gospel song. So yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
pop song, but it has that gospel influence. Yeah, and you can tell by the choir, the choir, and what this song is all about. Here you go. So what this song is all about. The song "Love That Will Be Done" by Martika is a beautiful prayer that speaks about surrendering oneself to the will of love. In the
Yeah.
song, the singer admits that they can no longer hide or run from the guiding light of love that empowers them to continue fighting. They have found the love that has given their life a new beginning and see all of God's creations as one perfect complex that is equally beautiful and special. The singer has become wiser and willing to accept the will of love in their life. The chorus of the song emphasizes the message of surrendering the will of love. It, it, it acknowledges that it can no longer resist the guiding light of love and that one must accept love's will. The
Mm-hmm.
song emphasizes that love is powerful the idea is that accepting loves will painful for discovering love and his will, and that's why they can no longer run from it. And that's the whole song. So pretty much is
Mm.
a so pretty much it's a pop gospel ballad about surrendering to the will of love. So it's a pretty good it's a good song for what it is. And and again, Martica did her thing off of this song, and Prince did his thing off of his song.
Mm-hmm.
The way the songwriting, and he produced it. So it's
Right.
Prince, like it's Prince. So anything Prince does, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on Love Thou Will Be Done?
Um, wasn't bad. I mean, it was a good production, good lyrics. Monica, Prince, they did that thing. You know what I mean? But it's it's a pretty cool song.
Yeah. Love Thy will be done. I can no longer hide. I can no longer run. No longer can I resist the God and light that gives me power to keep up the fight. Or Lord, love, thy will be done. So I have found you. My life has just begun. And I see all of your creations as one perfect complex. So yeah, religion like there's some religious aspects to it
Hmm.
as well. Because I mean, it's a pop gospel song, so it's going to be that religious aspect to it. But she did her thing off this album, off this
Yeah.
song though. Her her
Yeah.
her and Prince, both the songwriting and, and the production, like anything with Prince is going to be good.
I agree.
Um, Number four is track four is a magical place, and this was written by Christopher Max. Um, this song right here is it's an okay song. Again, it's not really much of a standout off of this album, but it's not a bad song. It's not a bad song.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not a bad song at all. But compared to but compared to her first song, the first track, and then the third track, um, I might place it like in terms of ranking the songs. I might rank it down a little down below, but but it's not a bad song. It's
Right.
again it has that fantastical feel to it because when you think of when you think of a magical place, you have that it has that fantastical feel that atmosphere to it,
Hmm.
and the lyrics to the song goes like this. Okay, the lyrics. You slay me, you bring me hope in a world full of fear, and you get me off the start that never stops. Like wild horses on a windy doll, I feel you now, and you're blowing through me like a melody. Within my heart, so magical. Lord help me, I found one way ticket to ecstasy. I can't turn it down when all that's left behind me is a pool of tears. Don't let me drown. I'll never find another who can take me there, where my heart can feel so magical. Over, over the sun, beyond the moon, where all desires lie, through time and space, a magical place I found within your eyes. Don't tell me I know what you're thinking, and it's all okay with me, cause there's nowhere, cause there's no, because there's nowhere deeper I could ever feel. I want to be with body and mind and soul. I give myself to you. Won't you set me free? So magical. Over the sun, beyond the moon, where all desires lie, through time and space. A magical place I found within your eyes. Pretty soon someday, pretty soon someday, one day for all always, we're gonna find out that one day is today, and we
Mm.
never waste our time, and we never waste our time with love.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's whole lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are very again, they're very good though.
Yeah.
Like pretty good lyrics. Again, it's catchy. Like the whole production is catchy though. It's catchy. It's catchy because again, you can sense that funk, new jack swing essence in the song.
Yeah, you could definitely
Yeah, that funk. You can hear you can hear that funk, new jack swing essence in the song, and
hmm
that's what and that make stand out is the production off of the song, and and again, Martika's vocals are very good on this song too. So it's a pretty cool a pretty cool song, very
Yeah,
enjoyable, but it's not really groundbreaking though.
I would have to agree 110%.
Yeah, but it's a pretty cool song. Pre-
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool song. I pretty cool song. I could um I'll just take it or leave it.
Yeah, same. Um, like the production, but it just wasn't, like you said, it wasn't really groundbreaking. I mean, I still liked it though, and despite of, but yeah, it's a pretty cool song.
All right. Track five is Colored Kisses, which is another single off of this album. And this is a and this is written by Frankie Blue, Les Pierce, and Martika. And the producers are Robert Sav- Robert Cleveles and David Cole.
Hmm.
And pretty much again, this is also a love song. So there is a music video for this song, and the music video directed by Rocky Shanek and edited by Scott C. Wilson shows Martika in very provocative scenes while
Hmm.
being in a bathtub and
Hmm.
interacting with a boyfriend, but portrayed by Harold Perret, died who who died in 2002 at the age of 32.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know much, but no, I don't know much about the guy, but yeah. So Color Kisses. Now this is a very good to me. It's a very good song off of this album. Very good song, and it could literally go like this: Hey, colored kisses, the red, blue, yellow, green, black, and white are the colors you like. Red, the fire that burns my heart when you're near and wraps me up. Now I find the space to feel good, like the water. It fill me with peace. When you're near me again, I still breathe within. Now that you're at my side, you're still in mine. But I long for you, but I long for your touch. It's hurting so much. You give me, you give me color kisses for my lips to taste. You let me to an oasis, an oasis where I can lay my head on your shoulder and pray. What else can I do? 'Cause all I want is more and more colored kisses from you. Colored kisses. Like dope lyrics. So the whole song conveys a deep longing for love and companionship. The use
Mm-hmm.
of colors and imagery help to create a vivid picture of the emotions involved. The first verse describes the different colors of kisses that the singer likes, and the second verse goes on to describe the emotions associated with each color. The red kiss is associated with passion and burning desire, while the blue kiss is linked to tranquility and peace. The chorus repeats the phrase "colored kisses," which represents the joy and happiness that the person brings to the singer's life. They're like an oasis that provides comfort and respite from the trails of the outside world. The third verse describes the yellow kiss that is associated with the sun's warm embrace and the joy of being with the person. The final verse describes the power of love of their love and how it can overcome any obstacle. So overall, Color Kisses is a beautiful love song that accentuates the importance of color and imagination in describing the deep feelings of love, and that's the whole song. So that's the thing about this album. Well, the thing about Martika'S song is that she would use a lot of metaphors, but
Yeah,
she used them in a way that makes sense.
exactly.
Like, but because when you think of colored kisses, she's using all the colors because colors also have a lot of meaning to them as well, right?
Yeah,
Because when you think of because when I think of red, the color red, I think of passion, anger, lust, sex, fire, like running hot and cold emotions. Blue is more tranquil, calm. It could also be peaceful, sadness. Yellow could also be mean bright and cheery and just optimistic. Black is more associated with dark,
yeah,
gothic, and melancholy.
right,
White is more, uh, and white is like light essentially. So I like how she uses meta, a lot of the color metaphors to describe what love truly is.
right.
So so very good lyrics, very cool, very good song. I'll take it. Very good single too.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I would have to agree 100%. This is a good song here. Uh,
No, no, you go. You go.
yep, I was gonna say, this is a very good song. I love the lyrics. I like the sound to it. Love the love the production. And Montika's, she did her thing in this song. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. Now this is a standout right here. That's this is a standout. So me, the standouts are Martika'S Kitchen, Love That'll Be Done, and so far, Color Kisses.
Mm.
Like track two and four are very good. The very good songs, and I'll still bump them no
Hmm.
matter what. I'll still bump them no matter what, because it's Martika. Um, Number six is Safe in the Arms of Love. Now this is another single off the album, and and it was written by Michael Krutz, Martica, and Michael J. Um,
Hmm.
this song right here is pretty solid too.
Yeah.
A pretty solid song, and so basically, "Safe in the Arms of Love." So essentially, that's self-explanatory. Where it just talks about you want to be safe. You want to be safe in somebody's love. You want to be safe in somebody's arm of love, and there. So in the song "Safe in the Arms of Love," Martica Martica sings about a love that can withstand time and distance. She talks about how her heart is an open book, but there are still parts of her life that her partner has not seen. Even though they may be pulled in separate directions, she believes that they will come back together someday. The wind blowing symbolizes the uncertainty and changes in life, but her heart knows that they were meant to be together. Martika also acknowledges that their love might not be perfect, but she has faith that they will always find their way back to each other. The second verse talks about how being with her partner feels like being in another world, but they have to eventually return to reality. Martika feels like she is under his spell and may not be all that she can be, but she knows she will come back to him. She talks about how what was hers is hers, and no one can take that away from her. Martika believes that in the end they will never have to be apart again. So so it's all about being with your lover, but also understanding that you have to come back to reality, and that love is not a game. Essentially, like love is not a game. Love is not a game,
Mm.
and she acknowledges that love is not perfect, but she has faith that they'll always remain together, no matter what obstacles they go through. So that's
Exactly.
what I got from the song. It's all about like love is not love has its flaws, but but you will always be remain together no matter what you go through in life. So
Yeah.
so pretty good lyrics. So pretty good meaning to the song. I like I, I like the message. The lyrics are good. Martika Martika did her thing. So I li- so I like the song. I'll take it.
I liked it too. I like the meaning behind it too. Um, I like the sound to it. The meaning behind it to me is more important in this song. Yeah, she definitely did her thing. I'd take it too as well.
Oh oh Spirit. Oh, I've got to mention. Spirit is was also a single off the album too, but it's just remixes. The remixes in promo only.
Right.
Yeah. So far she got 5 singles. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Now number 7, Pride and Prejudice. There you, Pride and Prejudice. That's track 7. That was written by Cruz and Martica. Very dope song. Very dope production. And I just like the chorus, like pride and prejudice. That that funky is very funky. Very funky. Let's see. So this is a very dope song right here. Oh, there we go. Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So This song right here, like very okay, again, very dope song, very dope lyrics, very dope production. This song, Pride and Prejudice by Martica, explores the themes of self-discovery, overcoming societal barriers, and the transformative power of love. The first few lines suggest that the singer is afraid of speaking up for themselves and perhaps feeling uncertain of who they are.
Mhm.
However, they cannot ignore what they have learned and come to the realization that all they want to do is love someone. The chorus describes how Pride and Prejudice, lies, and cowardice and hate all serve as obstacles that prevent people from coming together. These barriers can be seen as walls that keep people apart and cause wars within themselves, as described in the line. Now we're all alone with the war inside our souls. The
Mm.
second verse stresses that the singer's feelings are reciprocated, exemplified in the line. Everything I'm feeling is reflected in your eyes. They, however, are unable to act on them because of the societal struggles that hold them back, and they don't know how to love without connection. The bridge of the song speaks to the human desire to belong and to follow a higher power. The lyrics use spiritual imagery to illustrate the importance of love as the ultimate healing force capable of breaking down barriers and bringing people together. No more hate, no more lies. We're all the same in God's eyes. Show some faith and peace will come. Give your heart and trust in love. The song concludes with an urging to let love into one's heart and to make the world a better place by resurrecting the human race. So 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 that's the message of the song. So very dope, very dope message, and I love how she incorporated spiritual imagery to illustrate the importance of love, where we're all the same in God's eyes, because because God He created us to be equal, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Yes, He created us to be equal, and while we do have differences, we do have differences, and we do have flaws, strengths. Like we all have straws. Like no, sorry, not straws. We 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 all have strengths and flaws, and we're all built equally. And even though we may seem different, in God's eyes, we're equal.
Facts.
Yeah. So I love how she incorporated spiritual imagery within within the song to give it more depth.
Mhm.
Because love is eternal.
Right.
Love is highly eternal. Like no matter who you are, no matter what person you are, like, no matter who you are, or what background you came from, like love is eternal, regardless.
Mhm.
So very dope song, very dope message. I'll take it. Oh, oh, and very dope production too. I'll take it.
Yeah, I love
And,
the.
and this should be a single too.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love the message. Kind of like, kind of, it had that mixture of like, I, I want to say gospel, like New Jack, a little bit. Just
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
hints.
Oh yeah, I
Just
forgot. Yeah, funk.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a mixture of funk, gospel, and with some jazz in it too.
yes. And it
Yeah,
has like hints of little everything. That's one thing I like about it. You know what I mean? And like I said, the message of it, was just pretty much clear cut. And She definitely did her thing on that, and yeah, you're right. That should have been a single. That should have been a single, definitely.
Yep. This should have been a single off the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I would take Spirit off as a single and put Pride and Prejudice as a single
Right.
because it's just that good. Like the message, the production, how it combines elements of funk, gospel, and jazz.
Yeah,
Like this should have been a single
I have to agree.
because it has the potential to be one.
Right.
Now, track 8, "Take Me to Forever." Now, this was written by Martika and Jay. Pretty dope. Now, this is a pretty good song here, and this is all about "Take Me to Forever." Like the whole song is something. Again, another song that is highly self-explanatory, where again it continues the themes of love and romance. And when you think of the meaning, "Take me to forever," that's all about we're so madly in love with one another that we want to take our love further. We want to take our love further,
Mhm.
but that's not that's not what it's all about. The lyrics of "Take Me to Forever" by Martika is about seeking refuge in one's loved one during difficult times. The singer talks about how she feels lost and drowning in situations where she can't seem to understand herself, implying an emotional turbulence she can't handle. The
Mhm.
lyrics demonstrates a struggle with self-doubt and the fear of not seeing one's life having purpose or direction. The singer needs someone to lean on and guide her back to the right path. She seeks her love's comfort as they make as they make life's journey together, taking her to a place of tranquility, inner peace, and eternal love, a place where she can escape her troubles and fears. The chorus repeats the phrase, "Take me to forever," symbolizing a place beyond time or mortality, a sanctuary where problems don't exist, troubles don't seem so big, and life is beautiful. The lyrics, "Point me to the sky," mirrors the idea of transcendence and hope, the ability to rise above one's limitations and reach for the stars. The song suggests hope amidst pain, light amidst shadow, and a prospect of endless love. So essentially, the whole song is about how we as people we some people use love as a way to escape the hardships of reality. They use love as an escapism
Wow.
where you may think like they use it as a way to escape, like as an escapism, and
Mhm.
they want to go to a place where
Mhm.
it's very peaceful, very calm, and just trouble free.
Yeah.
But they also have to understand that life is not perfect. Life ain't always fun and games. And through through love, through compassion, and through empathy, you have to make it through life's journey together. You have to make through life's journey through all the hardships, all the trauma, the drama, and a lot of the terrible, terrible, terrible events that happen in your life.
Right.
But but the power of love and the power of faith and compassion, you is your destiny to make it through life, so you can so you will end up more peaceful um in a more peaceful environment. Well, It's your destiny to use that love and that compassion and that faith to get somewhere, to get somewhere in life, to get somewhere that's enlightening, essentially. Because the lyric because the lyrics because the lyrics point me to the sky mirrors the idea of transcendence and hope, the ability to rise above one's limitations and reach for the stars. And the song suggests hope amidst pain, light amidst shadow, and a prospect of endless love. So, hope amidst pain means hope can relieve pain, light can miss darkness. So what that means is that, but the power of love, like love can relieve pain, relieve all your woes, your pains, and your struggles. That's what it meant. Like that love and hope can relieve all your pains and woes and struggles, and yet in order to get somewhere in life.
Hmm.
So very dope lyrics, very dope message, and a very cool song. And again, similar to her other songs, Martika did her thing, and and that's another thing. She also writes her songs, like she also writes her songs too. Uh, and you can tell, yeah, Martika, yeah, she also writes her songs too, off her first album too.
Which you don't see that quite often, at least not anymore.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the song "Take Me to Forever"?
I actually like it. It's a good song. You could tell she wrote. You kind of could tell she wrote it. She did a thing. She wrote it. She wrote it with the purpose. It's pretty dope. I take it because
Yeah,
it's a very
pretty
good
pretty
song.
cool, pretty cool song right here.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of my favorite songs on the album. Now, this is the highlight. Now, this song right here is a highlight. This is a highlight. Track 9, Temptation. Happened in the back of my neck, up and down my spine, broken on my mind. Haven't got rid of it yet. Temptation. Everything's holding me back. Scratching my brain, driving me insane. I can't seem to get on track. Love, 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 love this song right here. And this was written by Frankie Blue, Pierce, and again, Martika. One of my one of my favorite songs on this album. Very dope song, very great, very great song. And now this one has that, you can definitely has that has that new jack swing, has that funk that it is strong of this out of this song. It it is very strong of this album. I mean song. And the lyrics go like this: just you and me. The image of the way it's gonna be. Close by my side. Living in the luxury of paradise. Did you ever want something so bad you risk it all? No matter what the consequences are, you lost control of something deep inside your soul, and now it's gonna, and now it's gonna, and now it's gone a little bit too far. Temptation, tapping on the back of my neck, up, up and down my spine, working on my mind, haven't got rid of it yet. Temptation, everything is haunting me back, scratching on my brain, driving me insane. I can't seem to get on track. Like very, very catchy, very dope, very catchy. So the whole song is about a person who is deep into a feeling of temptation towards someone they are not supposed to be with, The song is about a person who is trying to resist an attraction that is consuming them. The lyrics suggest that the temptation is a powerful force that is constantly nagging at a person's mind, even
Mhm.
when even when they try to ignore it. The song is relatable to the human experience because everyone has gone through a time where they are tempted to do something they know they should not do. The song is about the struggle of trying to resist that temptation and the damage it can do to a person's life. The lyrics suggest that the person is stuck between a desire for something they cannot have and the fear of the consequences that comes with indulging in that desire. The
Yeah.
song captures the feeling of powerlessness and the sense of urgency that comes with trying to resist temptation. The lyrics capture a sense of desperation where the person is trying to convince themselves that they can resist the temptation while acknowledging that they have already lost control. So pretty self-explanatory, but very good lyrics, very good message. Where in in our experiences as part of human life, we've all went down that road where we try to resist our vices, but
Mhm.
but in some instances it's hard to resist our vices because we do have that urge to indulge in them.
Right.
Like when it comes to when it comes to sex, some people some people in in the real world they can't resist temptation, so they start indulging in their vices. Like for example, they indulge in they indulge in like orgies and all of that. They also indulge in being hoes or sluts, all of that,
Hmm.
being promiscuous, like that kind of temptation where you feel the urge, but at the same time you try to resist that urge. And it's not just sex; it can be anything. You can think of you can think of under the sun. It could be any temptation,
Yeah.
and it's not just sexuality. It
Right.
could also be video games or movies, TV shows.
Hmm.
We get so indulged in it because we're easy because we're easy to fall into those traps,
Exactly.
and that's what I got from this song. It's all about the consequences. Like some like people who indulge in their indulge in their vices, indulge in their temptations, but also have but they also fear the outcome that comes with indulging in their desires.
Yeah.
So very good lyrics, very very cool message. It's very simple too. Very simple, down to earth, like very simple. A little, it's very simple, very dope song. Very dope song. I love it. Love the song right here. Love it.
Yeah, and that's very pretty much relatable too, because you have this temptation where you know it's wrong, but you question yourself: Are you gonna actually go through it, or are you gonna hold yourself back? You know what I mean? And it's like that's what I got out to, from this song too, and
Yeah,
it's pretty, like I said, pretty relatable, and I like the message that it was trying to give out too. Without being it too preachy or too showboaty.
yeah, yeah. Like I feel like the latter half of this album is a lot stronger.
I agree 110%.
It's very strong in the latter half. It gets stronger. Like I love that song "Temptation." Like that's one thing about this song is that it can relate. Like many people can relate to this song. Like we've all been down that path where should we do this? Are we allowed to do this? But at the same
Hmm.
time, you want to resist yourself. Like when it comes to murder, like murder, like when it comes to murder, like should is it okay to murder somebody, or should I back away from it? My
Right.
advice is to back away from it
Hmm.
because again, murder is a very serious crime. Murder is illegal,
Right.
and that's why so many people end up in prison. Where a majority of them end up in prison. Some of them are still out there wandering
Hmm.
and still harming a lot of people. Oh, and speaking of that, um, off topic. Do you know? Do you know this actor called no, wait, I'm not named Ryan Grantham?
Ryan Grantham. I don't- the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Ryan Grantham. He was a child voice actor. He was known for Diary of a Wimpy Kid,
Oh
and
wow.
he was also in one episode of Riverdale.
Uh huh.
Basically, he murdered his own mom.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's
he murdered his own. Yeah, he killed his own mother,
that's terrible.
and he received see the life sentence in prison for it.
Yeah. That's awful.
Yeah, because people say that he suffered from mental issues, which
Yeah.
look look, I do not care what person what kind of mental illness one person may have.
Right.
You would you should never use mental illness as a way. You should never use mental illness as a way to as a way to you know what I'm trying to say is that you should never use mental illness just to prove yourself how much of a horrible person you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So essentially, so this article is more than 11. So this article is more than 11 months old.
Hmm.
So okay, Ryan Grantham received life sentence for killing his mother. Canadian actor had pleaded guilty to second degree murder over shooting near Vancouver. But here's the kicker: Ryan Grantham will be eligible will be eligible to apply for parole in 14 years.
Lord. Wow.
Yeah, ain't justice system is a bitch.
It is because
It's a true bitch. I'm like, you knew okay for Ryan Grantham, he knew what he did was wrong,
yeah, no justification.
and he acted out on that.
Right.
Like it does not matter if you're mentally ill. Like no
Exactly.
matter what mental illness you have, that does not excuse the fact that you murdered your own freaking mother,
Exactly.
64-year-old mother.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and not to mention like he also had plans to murder the prime minister.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So essentially, why? Okay, why the hell would you apply for? Would you apply a murder for parole?
Exactly.
That,
That's crazy.
that's like asking Hitler, that's like telling Hitler or R. Kelly that, hey, what you did was wrong, but but we still feel bad for you.
Exactly. Hmm.
Like you should never sympathize with a murderer, no matter what. No, I don't care. Like you should never sympathize with the murder. a murderer is a murderer, and he will stay a murderer.
Right.
Okay, he can't undo what he did
No, you can't.
because there are a lot of people out in this world who would murder somebody and, or innocent bystanders, but yet when they get caught, when they get caught, they want to play the victim card, like, oh, I didn't mean to do this, but you know you already did it. So stop being a shithead and take responsibility responsibility for your actions.
Right, because you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, like the whole and also he's not the only one. There's also another um f- former teen killer by the name of Christine
Oh,
Paolilla, yeah, who was also responsible for murdering her classmates too.
that's
Yeah, Christine Paolilla. Yeah, she murdered 4 people. She fatally shot 4 people.
mm-mm.
Okay, and she served life imprisonment for a minimum of 40 years. So she's incarcerated.
Wow.
Yeah, so she murdered. So she life imprisonment. So minimum of 40 years.
40 years. Wow.
Yeah, 40 years to life in prison.
Wow.
But her boyfriend, her partner, Christopher Snyder, he committed suicide before apprehension.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. So basically, long story short, um, Christine, her life was her life was hell.
Yeah.
Like her mom was an alcoholic. Well, you used to be an alcoholic, and her dad died was killed in a construction accident. So yeah, very hard life, and she was the subject of being abused and bullied by her classmates because of her um alopecia.
Right.
Yeah, so she had a very hard life, but that does not excuse the fact that she murdered her 2 best friends, Tiffany and Rachel, who were one of the kindest, nicest people that she ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were never that snobbish alpha bitches. Like they were never that those type of high school cliques. Those high school um those high school kids who think they're all that.
Right.
Like they were very kind. They're very sweet, and they pretty much took her took her under under their wing,
Mm-hmm.
and they dolled her up, and they made her very beautiful. So Paulilla was voted Miss Irresistible by her school student body.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but she also began a relationship with 21 21-year old Chris Snyder. Keep in mind, at the time, Chris Snyder was 21, and and Christine, she was around the age of 17.
Wow.
Yeah, she was still in high school, and he was an adult.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he was a drug. So basically, it's not because of that. Well, yeah, well that, but also because he was a frequent drug. Like he was a drug user,
Right.
a drug addict, and he was also known for his and he was also known for his extensive criminal record.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but still, that does not excuse Paulilla and Snyder to go on a killing spree. Well, to kill to kill both of her classmates, the ones that are very kind to her. She killed them out of jealousy.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
killed them out of jealousy. So also at the home where Rachel, Rorella's boyfriend. Okay, Rachel, Rorella's boyfriend, and Marcus and Priscilla's cousin, Al Adelbert Sanchez. So that's four of them. So Rachel, Rorella's boyfriend, Marcus, and and her cousin, and the cousin Adelbert Sanchez. So that's four people,
Hmm.
and so they were all shot dead. They were all shot dead. Blood was everywhere, and Rachel tried to call 911
Hmm.
after she was shot, but Paulilla struck her in the head multiple times with the butt of the revolver,
Wow.
attempted to call to a phone to call 911. Yeah, yeah, bashing in her skull,
That's crazy.
and both Rachel and Roro were both shot in the crotch. So it's a sign of sexual envy.
Wow.
So yeah, so yeah,
That's terrible.
yeah. So her boyfriend, so Christine's boyfriend committed suicide before he was caught apprehension,
Wow.
and Christine was sentenced to life in prison
Mm.
for a minimum of 4 years. No, no, not 4 years. 40 years.
Wow.
40, not 40
Wow.
years. Yeah.
That's just
So so as of June 2023, Paulilla is incarcerated at the Christina Malton Crane Unit in Gatesville, Texas, and will be eligible for parole in July 2046
that's wow.
when she will be 60 years old.
Wow.
So currently she's 37.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So so as of July 2046, she will be eligible for parole when
That
she's 50 years old.
wow.
I
Mm-mm.
mean, she got what she deserved, right?
Yeah, that is
But
true.
but again, justice system is a bitch.
It is.
Like
It,
again, see, this is why I don't understand the justice system. Like, why would you give? Why would you even consider the fact to give a murderer who killed four people, mind you, four people who did nothing wrong to her,
right.
and yet you want to and yet your ass want to give her a parole? Like, what the heck?
Exactly.
Like, okay, she got what she deserved, yes, but do not like if someone murders my best friends, I would not give them parole.
Right.
I would not. I don't care what no one when no one says you should not feel sympathetic towards someone who commits murder on innocent bystanders who did nothing to her.
Right.
And as for the guy that committed suicide, he's already in hell. He's already in hell for all the crimes he committed. Because like I said, when you commit suicide, you don't go to heaven. You don't.
No, no, you don't.
You don't go to heaven when you commit suicide, because suicide is an offense to God,
Right.
because God gave you the life to live. Yes, God gave you the life to live,
Exactly.
not to take it for granted. And that's why I see suicide. Suicide is basically you taking life for granted.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So that's the reason. So that's why this song Temptation holds up very well. Like this song aged very well because it's still relatable to this day.
Right.
And it's because of this they gave in, like, both Ryan and Christine, they both gave in to temptation.
Mm-hmm.
They both gave in to temptation to murder, and that's how they ended up in prison.
Exactly.
It's because they they indulged in their horrible temptation of murdering innocent victims.
Right.
Yes. So again, Temptation is a very cool song, very dope song, very relatable. Now, number 10 is Don't Say You Love Me. And this was written by, again, Martika and Prince.
Mm.
Yep. Don't Say You Love Me. Now, again, another dope New Jack Swing song. And this one is also it's self-explanatory. I won't go on much about this one. This one is pretty much self-explanatory. So pretty much it's all about, like, don't say you love me unless it's true. That's what it means. Like, don't say you love me unless you're true about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got from the song. Very dope song, very dope lyrics. I love it, and I love the production, and I also, again, I love the production from Prince, like that funky New Jack Swing element that he incorporated into the song. So very dope song. Love
Yeah,
it.
this has Pitts written all, and I like the production. It has that, like you said, it has that New Jack Swing. It just has.
Yeah, very dope song. Yeah, yeah, very dope, very dope. Like, pretty much the whole song is about don't say you love me unless you're honest about it. So basically, it's all about the tumultuous relationship between two lovers, like the on and off relationship where you might think like you might think your lover loves you, but do they really mean it? Essentially, like, don't say you love me unless you're honest about it. Like, be honest with how you feel about me, and then I'll be honest about how I feel about you. So very cool song. I'll take it. Wait, Mike, are you? Oh, what happened? Oh, wait a minute. I think he got. Oh, I think it's Wi-Fi acted up. I'll wait for him. You know, I'll go to track 11. So track 11 is Broken Heart. Now this song was written by Blue, like Frankie Blue, Les Pierce, and Martika. Broken Heart is a pretty solid song about, again, a broken heart. Let me find the lyrics. Oh, they're right there. Broken Heart. Okay, so the song Broken Heart by Martika tells the story of a woman who falls in love with a man who is addicted to drugs and alcohol. She struggles with her feelings for him as she knows that his habits are harmful to her and their relationship. However, she finds solace in his promises to change and his support when she becomes pregnant. Unfortunately, their baby is born with a broken heart, leaving the woman feeling confused and helpless. She questions her own mistakes and wonders if she would be punished for them. Despite these struggles, the man continues to reassure her that he will survive and see her through. The song touches on themes of love, addiction, and the challenges of relationships. The woman's internal conflict of loving someone who is harmful to her is a common experience among many people. Additionally, the theme of the baby being born with a broken heart can be interpreted both literally and metaphorically, and it can represent the struggles and pain that comes with bringing a child into a difficult situation. Overall, Broken Heart is a powerful and emotional song that tells a relatable story of love and struggle. Let me see if I can get Mike. Okay, there he is.
Hey,
There you go.
yep, yeah, my bad.
Oh,
I think I might accidentally press something. It booted me out of it and booted me out of here.
oh no, you're good. You're good. I was finished. Uh, I finished talking about "Don't Say You Love Me" and
Yeah.
how I love that song because of its simple message of don't say you love me unless you're honest about it, and if you're
Yep.
honest about how you feel, then I'll be honest. Then I'll be honest about how I feel about you,
Mhm. Mhm.
so that we're all so that both of us are gonna be on the same page. Yeah. So now we're at Broken Heart. Now this song is I talked about the meaning of the song, about how the whole song is about love, addiction, and the challenges of relationships. How
Right.
the whole song reflects on how one woman falls in love with a man who is a who is a drug addict and, and alcoholic, and she's struggling with her feelings for him as she knows that his habits are harmful to her and their relationship. But it's
Mm.
also but the, she's also questioning herself about their child, about bringing their child into into a a situation that it's gonna be harder for him or her. I mean him or her to grasp.
Right.
But it's also but it can also be used lyrically and metaphorically of how um yeah metaphorically uh the woman like so the song touches on themes of love, addiction, and the challenges of relationships. The woman's internal conflict of loving someone who is harmful to her is a common experience among many people. Additionally, the theme of the baby being born with a broken heart can be interpreted both literally and metaphorically, as they can represent the struggle and pain that comes with bringing a child to a difficult situation. So it's all about the love and the struggles of being in a relationship with someone who would potentially damage that relationship if they don't get the help that they need.
Mhm.
And so I say it's a pretty cool song. So a pretty cool song. a pretty serious message, though, a very serious message that is still relatable to this day, because it's not just women, but both parties can be in a relationship where what both parties can be at fault, or one party can be at fault for their own flaws, and they have to work on that on their flaws, so that so that they can keep so that the relationship can be stable and not be damaging.
Right.
So again, very cool song. It still holds up. It still ages well because again, it can relate to anyone who is in a relationship.
Yeah.
So very cool song. I'll take it.
Yeah, I agree on everything you said. It's a pretty good song. Yeah, it does have like a powerful like a message to it. Kind of like a sad, it's kind of like a sad song too at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
but I just like the intro where it goes da da da
Yeah.
da da da. Like it sounds happy, but well, it sounds kind of happy-ish, but but the tone, well, the message of the song does not.
Right.
So
Like
it creates that lyrical dissonance
right. Because like what?
where the song itself might sound lighthearted and happy ish, but it's the themes are rather dark and personal.
I have to agree. It's like
Yeah, because when you think of broken heart, you think of damaged relationships where one party have struggles where like one party has vices that they struggle with, like whether it's a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, or marijuana, like marijuana, meth addiction, or sex addiction, and that damages that relationship.
right.
And also you don't want to have your child end up in situations that might be harmful to them as well. So it's best for you to change yourself for, so your relationship can be stable. You have to have the will and the power to change yourself. It can't just happen overnight. Like
Exactly.
like yeah, it can't happen overnight. When you think of change, it takes time to change.
Yep.
Like if you're a drug addict or or an, an alcoholic, you got to take yourself to a drug rehab, or yeah, a drug rehab, and fix yourself up, or take yourself to therapy, and so that you can lay out lay out all your problems, and 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 understand that life is not like you can still um reform yourself. it's it's not too late to reform yourself, so that your relationship can be stable and be
Mm.
perfect.
Yeah.
So that's what I got from the song, is all about understanding your pain and your own struggles, so that you don't end up harming your partner, or
It's
their child, or basically their whole life essentially.
right. I agree.
You know what? I think Martika'S song, like compared to Debbie Tiffany, Martika has a more darker sound to her songs.
He does.
Like, but you think of Toy Soldiers,
Yeah.
like the song might sound happy, but the themes are very dark.
They are.
Because again, that song Toy Soldiers that's about drug addiction.
Exactly.
Because she wrote that song because her friend was struggling with drugs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it creates that lyrical dissonance
Right.
between the happy go lucky sound of the song with the with the darkness of the themes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the last track of this album is Me Tiara. Yep. So this was written by Blue, Pierce, and Martika, and it features and it's a duet with Celia Cruz. Yes, Celia Cruz, and Celia Cruz is a Cuban singer.
Hmm.
So essentially, this song is both in English and Spanish. Like the lyrics are both in English and Spanish. So you will see a running theme of yeah you will see you will see a running theme with her music where she would have those English language sound the English version, and then she'll have the Spanish version of the song because she's of Cuban and American descent.
Right.
But this is a nice way to end off the album. And again, again, Martica did her thing because she's very affluent. She's very affluent in Spanish. She's very affluent in Spanish, and also Celia Cruz was also a good addition because again, this fits the song because she is also of Cuban descent too. She's a Cuban singer too from Cuba. So and Cuba's main language is Spanish.
Hmm.
So so it fits the song and it probably fits the song. So it's a nice way to end off the album.
Yeah. I It is a good way to end off the album too. Um Now I want to ask you this question. Do you think some of these songs was ahead of its time?
Huh?
Do you think some of these songs on here, do you think it was ahead of its time?
The song ahead of its time.
Yeah, do you think like some of the songs off this album, do you think it's ahead of
Yeah, some
its
of the
time?
songs are ahead of yes, yeah. Some of the songs are ahead of its time. Like, well, some of them, like,
Yeah, some.
and I'm gonna choose some of them. Um, one of them is Temptation,
Yeah.
Broken Heart, Don't Say You Love Me. Well, Don't Say You Love Me. That's that's pretty much self-explanatory.
Hmm.
And Pride and Prejudice. Those to
Yeah.
me are those songs that still holds up to the very day. Like
Right.
notably Temptation and Broken Heart. Like because both of those songs to me stand out the most because there it's still a reminder that even though yeah, there's still a reminder that there are people in this world like with temptation. There are people in this world that would indulge in very harmful activities that would get them in so much trouble. Because,
Right.
like I mentioned with Ryan Grantham and Christine Paolilla, how they ended up in prison because they indulged in murder.
Hmm.
Like Ryan Grantham murdered his mother, and Christine. she murdered four people, four innocent people, mind you, innocent people, mind you. Yeah, they gave it to temptation, and they have to live with that guilt. They have to live with that temptation, and
Mhm.
even when they get released for parole, they still have to live live with that pain, that pain, that ache in their heart, that deep down they knew what they did was wrong, but
Exactly.
they added it. But again, they added out on that temptation, and they have to live with that temptation. So pretty much both of them would go to hell. Will go to hell. Go to hell for what they did, and they
Exactly.
can't and they cannot escape that hell because they already dug their hell.
Yeah.
So they gave it to temptation because of their impulsive actions. But again, it's not always about murder. It can also
Mhm.
be about rape, rape, and alcohol, like rape, drunk driving, robbery, um, um, abuse,
Yeah.
like those type of temptations,
Right.
and broken heart. Again, that also that can also um, be a shout out to anyone who's in a relationship with someone that has so many flaws that they have to work with, or that they have to work through. Well, not saying work through, but they they have so many flaws that they have to improve so that they can end up so that their relationship won't die essentially.
Right.
Like in order for them to keep that relationship, they have to promise that person. Keyword promise that person
Yeah.
that they would change for the better.
Right. Right.
And Pride and Prejudice. That's all about how society views like people. You know how gay people, all that stuff. So any of these songs, so any of those songs can be oh can be a reminder to people.
Hmm.
Like
I agree.
like I said, like Pride and Prejudice.
That's
The whole meaning of Pride, Pride and Prejudice is that it explores the things of self discovery, and overcoming societal barriers, and the transformative power of love. So it's all about overcoming societal barriers. So all of these these main no, yeah these songs, Pride and Prejudice, Temptation, Don't Say You Love Me, which is all about, again, self-explanatory. Don't say you love me unless unless you're honest about it. And if you're honest about loving me, then I'll be honest about loving you back.
exactly.
Yeah. So those songs for me stand out, like Pride and Prejudice, Temptation, Don't Say You Love Me, Broken Heart. Those songs stand out because they can because they stand out because they still resonate. They still resonate to this very day. Like I said, with Temptation, people give it the temptation, and they have to and they have to um live with that consequences. Broken Heart. that's all about fixing yourself so that you can keep your relationship so that your relationship won't be t- torn apart. Don't say you love me. So explanatory. Don't say you love me unless you're honest about it. And prior prejudice, that's all about self discovery and overcoming societal barriers and transforming the power of love. So
Right.
yeah, so that's all the songs off the album. 12 songs off the album. So overall, Martika'S Kitchen is a pretty good 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 album. It's a pretty good album. Like I love the production by Prince, Christopher Max, Sylvilles and Cole, Bob Rosa, Bob Rosa, Martica, Frankie Blue, Les Pierce, and Joe Galdo. Like I love the production. I love how this album combines elements of gospel, jazz, funk, R&B, Cuban music, and new jack swing, and just to create a diverse that's one thing about this album is that it's much more it's a bit more diverse in terms of music genres. It combines a lot of elements of gospel, jazz, and funk, and R&B, and new jack swing and Cuban music to make it more diverse.
I agree 110%.
Yeah, yeah, and again, you can't go wrong with Prince. And I love how he produced four, four songs off of this album: Martha's Kitchen, Spirit, no, Love That Will Be Done, and Don't Say You Love Me.
Hmm.
And also, I love Martika's vocals. Her vocals were very strong off this album,
Yeah.
especially Temptation. Like Temptation, okay, my favorite tracks of this album are Martika's Kitchen, Pride and Prejudice, Timothy Forever, Temptation, Don't Say You Love Me, and I will do Colored Kisses.
Yeah.
Yes, Colored Kisses. That that's also a very dope song too. So, what are your favorite songs? So what's your favorite track of this album?
Let me see. I would have to go with Color Kisses, Temptation, um, Don't Say You Love Me. Like those are like standouts to me. I felt like all in all, this whole album, like I felt like it was, to me, in my honest opinion, it was kind of a slow. I'm not gonna say slow start, but the the first couple songs, didn't wasn't really standouts for me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And um once the album progressed, it got better. Like you had a mixture of gospel, you had new jack, you had blues, you know what I mean, you had that funk, you know what I'm saying? So I liked all the elements. And then some a couple of songs had like Prince written all over it, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Marticus, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about this album because Prince. What can you
Yeah.
say? Prince, because
Yeah.
yeah, if you love Prince, you'll love Martica.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I mentioned that Prince also wrote songs for other people like the time,
Yeah.
the family,
The family, yes.
Martika, of course,
Yeah.
Martika, and also
Sheena
Sheena
Easton.
Easton too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, because and I remember you got the look. She was all she didn't Ethan was also on that song, but she was uncredited though.
Right.
Yeah, she was uncredited though. Yeah,
Right. Yep.
yeah. So Prince did a lot of work for everybody,
Yeah, he did. He sure
and
did.
that's why he's still a legend. Him
Yes,
him him and Michael Jackson, those are legends.
I agree.
Yes. So so this album this album is very good.
Mm.
So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, and I highly recommend this album for those who love pop music or just new jack swing music or funk music, or if you like Prince, Debbie Gibson or Sheena Easton, or if you like Letitia, Letitia is another very underrated singer, including Tr- Trinier. Yeah, that's a very underrated singer as well. Very underrated singer as
Mm.
well. You will love Martika'S Kitchen.
Right.
So I highly recommend this album, and I also recommend. I'll also recommend her first album too.
Hmm.
If you want to get into, if you want to know, if you want to know more about Martika, listen to her first two out like her two albums, her only two albums, and also watch her, and also watch the show called Kids Incorporated, where she was Gloria. Yeah, she was Gloria in that show.
It's funny you mentioned Kids Incorporated. I saw her also in a segment. It was like a Mr. T, like 59-minute like segment. Um, I didn't know she was. I didn't know she was singing or acting that far back either. You know what I mean? And mind you,
Yeah,
Kids Incorporated was 1980. It was the early mid 80s, and um, I saw in this segment, Mr. T.S. segment. What was it called? Oh God. Um, to was it be someone or be someone's fool? And I didn't put two or two together, but once I saw like the credits and it said Martika, I'm like, whoa, this is not this. It's that's the same Martika from Toy Soldiers. Wow.
yeah.
And
Step,
she,
step by step,
yep,
heart to heart, left, right, left. We all fall down like toy soldiers.
yeah, that's
That song,
yeah, that one of my favorite, top, one of my
like
top favorites.
it's so like I don't know what it is. Like it's so happy, but it's dark at the same
It's
time.
dark, right?
Like it's not like dark. It's not it's not no Nodis dark. Like it's not that, but it's dark in a way that is it's all about drug addiction.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I get
so I gave this album so I gave this album so I gave this album a thumbs up.
yeah, I give a thumbs up too.
Yeah.
I love the production. I like the fact that Prince was involved in this album too. And Martika, she definitely did her own thing. She did her thing in this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I I give it thumbs up as well.
Yeah. She's very, very underappreciated.
Very talented, very under. She should have had a bigger career than
Yeah,
she
she
did.
should have she should have gone bigger.
Yeah,
Like her what's another one that also had two albums? Oh, Robin S.
Robin S. Yeah,
Robin S. Robin S. is also very underrated too.
yeah,
Robin S. Evelyn Champagne King,
yeah,
like Get Loose. That's a good album right there.
yeah.
Get Loose. And speaking of that, that was released on the same year as Thriller,
Wow.
1980. Yeah, because Thriller came out in 1982,
Yeah,
and so did Get Loose. But I think that yeah they but they came out on different dates though. Well,
yeah,
different months, but they came out in
mhm,
the same well, but they came out in the same year.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But also Letitia and Trenier are also very underrated too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna show you who Letitia is like. Letitia right here. That's Letitia. Letitia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very. Not that Letitia. Not that. Not that Letitia.
Right.
Not right here. This Letitia.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Very underrated. And here's Trenier.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
I need to go back and listen to their stuff.
yeah. They're very underrated.
Yeah.
Um, Expose. No, that's a group we should talk about too. Expose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Barge.
The Budge, yeah.
Yeah, we should talk about those one
Yeah.
day. But okay, I'll make a few announce. One announcement. So next Sunday, I'll go to tackle Shantae Moore second album, A Love Supreme,
Mm.
and that's gonna be on September 10th. Yeah, September 10th.
Yeah, now September 10th, I would be out of town. I would be in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna try to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
try to
Shantae
still.
Moore. Yeah, Shantae Moore, A Love Supreme. Yeah, the album review. That's gonna be September 10th.
Yeah, I'm gonna still try to listen to you though on here on it.
Yeah. That's also another underrated singer too.
Yeah,
Shantae Moore.
Jonte Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah. Well, for on that day, on that day when you go to Myrtle Beach, make I won't give you when you get to Myrtle Beach, you can settle down and just get so comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the album, because where's the album? Shantae Moore Love Supreme. Yeah, Yeah, when you get to Myrtle Beach, you could just sit down and just get yourself settled
Right.
because because I don't like rushing people to do things.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because that's like a from you're in Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah,
Michigan.
from Michigan to South Carolina, so
Yeah.
that's like a long drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be flying. Yeah, we flying out there.
Yeah, so it's like 15 songs, so
Yeah.
it's easy to go by because the first song is it's just an intro,
Right.
but we can she got two. Well, one of them is an intro, and track nine without your love. That's pretty much an interlude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can fly through this on September 10th.
Yeah.
But first you got but first once you once you arrive at Myrtle Beach, you can just sit down and just get yourself settled.
Right.
It just pretty much take take your time.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, because I am gonna because after Shantae Moore, I'm gonna save that Eshawn review for October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Eshawn, yeah, yeah, Esham. I'm gonna. This is my very first Esham review, and it is a good thing I said it for October because October is a month for it's a month of Halloween
That,
and horrorcore,
yeah, that's true.
and he's gonna send me into the darkness
Right.
since he's known as the unholy one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the black devil himself, Esham. But I'm gonna say this right now. I don't consider like Esham is not a Satanist.
Right.
He's not. He's not a saint. He's not
Mhm.
a, a Satanist
Right.
because he uses the wicked like the wicked shit. He uses like Isham uses Satan and hell as metaphors for how for Detroit,
Yeah.
like the crack use and its effect on the community and the horrible things that happen in the in his community, like drugs, murder, evil, paranoia, sex, like all that stuff. Like, well, by sex I mean rape, illicit sex, all that stuff, and that's what makes horrorcore.
Right.
It's all about like when you think of horrorcore, it's all about dealing with stuff that happened. Like you're rapping about stuff that happened, a lot of horrible stuff that happened, like um, drugs, crime, murder, suicide, all that stuff. It's not because of all that. Like they use Satan and hell as reference as, as a metaphor for drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. That's what they use it for
Right.
to comment on the how messed up and flawed the world is because this world is very flawed.
It is.
It's very flawed. So with with rappers like Isham, Nodis, and all these, and the rest of the rest of these rappers like Nas, um, Nas, Biggie, all the all those people, Tupac, all those people, they they use they use those metaphors to talk about the horrible the horrible things that goes on in the world. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's not because Isham is a Satanist. He's no Satanist, but it's all about what happened during when when he was in Detroit. Well, he's still in Detroit though, but
Hmm.
it's all about what happened during those times in Detroit
Right.
when he did booming words from hell. Like that talks about all the stuff that happened, all the horrible stuff that happened in Detroit, like all the stuff all the horrible things that surrounded him.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. So for October 6th is the Isham, it's the Isham kill 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 the fetus and dead flowers review. So it's gonna be a double review of those albums,
Mm.
and be prepare yourself because he's gonna take us into the dark. All right, so those are my announcements, and I'm gonna end this off right here. This is so this has been a very good review of Martika'S second album, Martika'S Kitchen. I'm Ray Sean Butler,
It's Mike from Mike's Movie Corner Rants.
and have this album in your collection. And we'll see you in the next live stream.
Peace.
Peace. And also give Martika her flowers while she's still living.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Peace.
Peace.